All right, financial algebra students, we are moving on to 7-6. The title of this section is Rentals, Co-ops, and Condominiums. And I like this quote here. It says, home is a place you grew up wanting to leave and grow old wanting to get back to. I like that quote by John Ed Pierce. You can try this warm-up. I'll probably go back and do that maybe day 2, but right now we're going to move on to the notes. So when you guys, first move out or finish college and you're looking to live on your own, you got a couple of options. Most people are going to, live in an apartment because it's affordable. If you have some money, you have a down payment, or maybe you purchase a small condo, that's an option. You can obviously buy a house. And there's something called a co-op, which is not very popular, but we'll find out what that is. All right, so your job here is to watch the video and complete 7-6, the assignment for 7-6, and then submit that on School Loop. So find this in your notes. We're on 7-6. I think everybody has their packet. So an apartment. Let's go up here first, actually. Maintaining your own home and land requires time and money. Time and money, like most things. So the advantages of an apartment, you guys can probably think of these. You don't have to pay for things when they break. Toilet breaks, plumbing breaks, whatever it is, you get a leak. You don't have to pay for it. The apartment manager pays for that. You can split the rent with somebody. You can have roommates. That's an advantage in an apartment. But when you leave an apartment, you don't get anything back. You pay your final month's rent, and you leave, and you walk out with nothing. So the disadvantage is there's no equity. If you own a home and the price of the home goes up, you can sell it for a profit. But if an apartment, you move out, and that's it. You just start from scratch again. And you also have to probably come up with a, first month's and last month's rent to the next place that you rent, or some type of deposit, security deposit. Let's move on down to a condominium. Okay, so what's the difference between a home and a condominium? Well, a condominium is just if you have shared walls. Okay, you share a wall with your neighbors. So a condominium is a form of home ownership. So each unit is individually owned. And condo owners are responsible for the walls in. Okay, what does that mean, the walls inward? Well, if something breaks, plumbing, water leak, okay, if something breaks, your fireplace breaks, whatever it is, you're responsible for that. Okay, so the walls inward are your job. But the walls outward are actually the HOA's job. So if you have a roof leak, since you share a roof with your neighbors, that's the responsibility of the homeowner, of the homeowners association. Okay, so they would pay for that. So the walls inward. All right. Condominiums typically have a board of directors. That are elected by the owners and are responsible for business matters. So, the board of directors is just typically some people that live in the neighborhood who volunteer to be on the board, and they do things like create policies and make sure that people are following the rules, and they also set up some maintenance companies to come and take care of the pool or lawns or whatever you have, light posts, all those types of things. So HOA is just a homeowners association. So every single person that owns a condo pays a HOA fee. Okay, so it's a monthly fee that you pay, typically monthly, and the fee goes for everything that is involved with the HOA. Okay, so it could be a lot of things. You could have parks, pools, common areas, grass areas, landscaping, all those things. All right, so down here, condominium owners are charged a maintenance fee. Sometimes there's multiple fees. For the HOA that I live in there, I have 2 fees that I pay. One is for my specific area in the community, and then the other fee is there for the larger community. So which the board of directors or a management company. So if you have a large community, you might not have a board of directors. You might have a management company that takes care of all these things, so homeowners don't have to do them. Sometimes it might be hard to find homeowners that are willing to volunteer. And what happens if you have a HOA president and that person leaves? It's kind of hard, to keep track of everybody. So oftentimes there'll be a management company involved. Okay, and the management companies just takes care of all of those things that I mentioned earlier. So common areas, lawns, outside walls, painting the condos, decks, roofs, sidewalks, roads, pools, golf courses, tennis courts, all those things are outside, the walls out. And this would be maintained. All right, condominiums. What are the advantages? Well, the advantages are you don't really have to take care of that much. You don't have to mow your own lawn. You don't have to worry about painting the outside of your place. You might not have a pool, and everyone's house definitely doesn't have a pool, but a condo might have a pool, and you don't have to maintain the pool. Another advantage is, different from an apartment, you can buy your condo and sell it for a profit. You can also sell it for a loss. Okay, so you're a homeowner. The disadvantages are, well, you have common neighbors. Okay, you might be able to hear your neighbors banging on the walls or whatever it is. And you may have some limited choices. You can't paint your house pink because the HOA has rules for the colors of your home, the colors of your door. They also have rules about where you can park, things like that. Okay, so those are the advantages and disadvantages. A co-op is kind of a rare form of ownership, and it's rare because it doesn't really make that much sense to be a part of a co-op. Okay, so a co-op is, a corporation buys a apartment complex. They buy the entire complex, and then investors sell the shares, kind of like a stock. They sell the shares, and your share is your unit. Okay, so you might own 1/100th of the apartment complex, whatever it is, and you can buy and sell those shares for a profit or for a loss. Right? So the disadvantages are, you don't really own it. The corporation owns it. And sometimes you may have to find somebody to move in. Okay, so that might be a disadvantage. Just like you buy and sell stock, somebody's buying and selling stock, you're buying and selling the share of your co-op. Okay, so we talked about some advantages and disadvantages. Let's get to example 1. So last year, Bert paid a monthly cooperative maintenance fee of $912. 15% of this fee covered his monthly property taxes. How much did Bert pay last year in property taxes on his co-op? So he paid a monthly fee of $912. 15% of this, remember 0.15 is going to be 15%. So 15% of this is covered by his monthly property taxes. How much did he pay last year? Well, I'm just going to multiply this by 12. Okay, so last year would be 12. And I'll pull up my calculator and pop this in here. So 912 times 0.15 times 12 is going to be $1,641.60. Okay, so that was property taxes for the year. Pause the video and try the check your understanding problem. So this one says algebraically, so we're not going to get an answer, we're going to get an algebraic expression. It says Maggie's monthly maintenance fee is $M. 27% of that goes to property taxes. Express this, the annual percentage or the annual property tax deduction algebraically. So it's the same thing that we did here. So the monthly fee times 27%, change that to a decimal, times 12 months in a year. would be the annual property taxes. Okay, so this would be the annual property taxes right here. All right, example number 2. Seaford Cove Cooperative is owned by the shareholders. The co-op has a total of 50,000 shares. Janet has an apartment at Seaford Cove and owns 550 shares of the co-op. What percentage of Seaford Cove does Janet own? Well, they have 50,000 shares, so that's the total. And Janet owns 550 of these. Okay, so we can just divide that and get a percentage. Okay, it says what percent. So 550 divided by 50,000. And this is going to be 0.011. And we got to remember that we have to move this decimal 2 spots. So she owns a little bit over 1%. So 1.1% of the co-op is Janet's. All right, so again, your job is to just watch this video, complete the attached homework assignment on Google Class, and submit it on School Loop. All right, email me with any questions. Hope everything's going well with you guys.